Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Yo. What it do? I'm back. Back. Back with another video. Came to holler at you. Niggereros. And you mamareros. Back in the building. Welcome to my channel, New Heights. Taking you higher and higher, baby. Today we're gonna get into the mind. Romans 12:2, transforming the mind. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Well, first, there I go. There I go. What I feel is that the transforming, of the mind is a change in perspective, a change in your awareness of things, a change in your state of consciousness, all right? I'm gonna give y'all the Greek and the Hebrew definitions of this word, and I'm also we gotta go into we gotta get into the metaphysics. We're dealing with Romans, and just that title alone, when you're dealing with the Bible, each hold it down. Each different book, each book, each place that they mention, like Jerusalem and all these different places represent different aspects of the mind, or different just different aspects of the mind, or different states of consciousness, just all interplaying together. So we're gonna get into it, but when you're talking about transforming the mind, it's not just what you're thinking, it's also how you feel, because the body itself, or the emotions, or the body, then when I say the body, I'm talking about the body and the body of emotions. You have to also transform your feelings, because like I said, the body is a form of mind as well. It's kind of like a thinking mechanism as well. It has a consciousness itself, and you also have, in your stomach, what do they call it? The neural network or whatever in your stomach. So you have you get that gut feeling. That's a form of mind. That's a I kind of want to say a form of thinking, but it's more instinctual. It's more emotional. It's more feeling based, rather than your mind, telling you, I feel like this about that, or I don't like ketchup on my hot dog, rather than just a feeling like nah, nah, you know. But that's also something that you have to change. You don't just change your mind alone. Your entire being, your entire self, you know, has to be transformed. Um, you in totality, your actions and you know your perception of your actions. You might feel like, oh, I don't want to change my life because it's not cool. Everybody I know is, you know, doing this or doing that, clubbing, partying, whatever, right? But you have to feel, your thoughts and your feelings and your actions all have to be in alignment. You know what I mean? Because that wouldn't be true transformation if you don't really feel how you make yourself look to feel, or make yourself look to others, like you feel a certain way about a thing, but actually in your heart or in your body of emotions, your emotional body, you know, you haven't transformed. You really don't feel that change or really believe in what you're saying. You know what I mean? So that's why it's more than just the mind. Of course, we hear that, uh, the mind is all, the universe is mental, right? So getting, a higher perspective or um, developing a new way of thinking is important, but it has to be accompanied, you know, with the body as well. Um, because there is a such thing as emotional addiction, right? So you can get addicted to just certain ways of feeling and doing certain things, because when you certain actions that you take, chemicals are being released based on what you're doing from your brain to your body. Your body is getting that, and if you're doing the same thing over and over and over, and your brain is continuously feeding your body the same chemicals over and over and over, then your body gets addicted to that. Then you change your mind. You're trying to change your mind and change the way you think and change your life, but your body is sending messages back up to your brain saying, "I want more of this. I want more of those old feelings, those old thoughts. What are you doing? Like, get back to doing this." You know what I mean? And then that's pretty much like typically when people go through what they call backsliding, or um, you're falling off, or um, relapsing. That's the word I was looking for. It's when you relapse, but you're not relapsing on actual drugs. You're just relapsing on these chemicals that your brain has been releasing over and over and over based on how you were thinking and your behavior. So that's why it's also important to retrain the body, you know. But through repetition, which is why now when I think about it, one of the ways of reprogramming the subconscious mind is repetition. So just based on what I just said, if you repeatedly do something, you're releasing these chemicals based on what you're thinking and the feeling that you get from what you're thinking. You releasing those chemicals into the body, and after a while, And the body can be looked at as the subconscious mind as well, because it kind of runs itself, the lungs, everything, pancreas, all of it's running itself, the heartbeat, right? So through that repetitious thought and the continuous release of those chemicals, you reprogram the body or your subconscious mind, right? So let's get into just some of this. So I just took a couple of words out from the book. This is the book. This is one of the books that I use when I'm studying the Bible. This is not kind of funny. No, it's good. Strong's Exhaustive, and you can see why it's called exhaustive, because it's like a million pages. Exhaustive Concordance of the Bible. Now, this will show you, if you can't remember where a particular verse is in the Bible, and you want to find it, all you have to do is just know one word from that verse, right? So you go in here and you find, say, the word mind, and we'll go find mind. M-I-N. There we go. So we go and find mind, right? And it'll give me every book and every verse that one word, mind, is in the Bible. So once you find that word, right, or that particular verse, right, you'll scroll over, and on the side, I don't know if y'all can see this. On the side, right, there's these little numbers, and these numbers are basically in the back of the book, where you will go and find the definition or the particular content or context that they use that word in that verse, right? So mind, the word mind, and I know it's in Romans, okay. Romans 12:2, we go over, and we got G3563, right? So that's Greek. G is for Greek. So you'll go back into the back of the book where they have the Greek definitions for all the words, right? And then you will go to, what I said, 3563. So we go over 35. So, okay, it says, the intellect, i.e. mind, divine or human in thought, feeling, or will, by implication meaning mind, comma, understanding. I know it says compared to 5590. I didn't see that earlier. So let me just see real quick. So divine or human in thought, feeling, or will, 5590. So that means you're either thinking in a divine way, spiritual way, or a human way. You're either having human type emotions or higher, more spiritual type emotions, like the emotions of love, compassion, things like that. And then your will. With your will, you're either willing in human endeavors. You have this human desire, your ego-based intentions, of what you're striving for, or your spiritual intentions or goals, right? So 5590. So when we're talking about transforming the mind, like I said, it's not just the mind or your thoughts, it's also your feelings, and your will. Most of the time, when you're dealing with will or willpower, it's coming from the individual person, or the ego, or I gotta do this, or I'm gonna make this happen, But when I think about it, there is, like I said, a higher aspect to the energy or the idea of will, right? You can will something from a spiritual perspective, from your spiritual power. Like if you tapped into that and you know how to function from source, then you can will that spiritual energy, right? And basically get done what you want to get done, whether it be the establishment of a certain state of mind, or certain emotional state, or whether it be something physical, like, a business, building, car, money, anything like that. All right. So I want to see. I just want to see you strip right now, 'cause it's late. Damn, you sexy. Damn, you sexy. Dang, where is it? Here we go. Alrighty. Spirit, breath, abstract or concrete, the animal sentient principle only, thus distinguished on the one hand from the 4151, which is the rational and immortal soul, which mere vitality, even the plants. Okay, they go into basically, they look at mind as several different things, right? One is just vitality. Like, mind can be anything that has a consciousness. Anything that lives is considered mind, right? Even plants, cats, dogs, animals, fish, I seen even in one under one of these numbers of the Greek definitions, it even had ghosts and stuff like that. So, or the dead, anything, because even dead people are still like in a certain state of consciousness. You know what I mean? Even though they're not in the body, it's still like a state of consciousness, like. So, but let me get back on it. So yeah. All right. Let's see. The Greek definition for mind is, which is what I just read: the intellect, mind, divine or human, in thought, feeling or will, mind, understanding. So you want to be transformed in your understanding of things as well. Don't just continue to go by. Excuse me. I got no water. Don't just continue to go by what you've always been told, coming up as a child, or just the way you've always thought or felt about things, or what you've been told how to think or feel about certain things. You want to be transformed in all that. When we say transform the mind, everything changes about you. Your entire being, your entire spirit, your perspective, everything changes. Your understanding of things changes. Your desires change. The things you lust for change. Your feelings, like I said, your thoughts, everything is transformed. Now, the word renewing means to renovate. Uh, to make new, especially in freshness. So it's a fresh form of thinking. Let's just look up the word renovate. On this handy dandy extracellular device. What? Unfortunately, Google stop playing with me. Renovate. Come on now with that bull crap. You know what? So I just want to break it down, get this stars. See, and they gotta go old school. This technology be getting funky. And they gotta go grab a damn dictionary. Read a book. Renovate. Renovate. So we're gonna find out what this means to renovate the mind. Be transformed by renovating the mind. I think I went too far. LMNOP. Renovate. To put in good condition again. So let's see that again. To put in good condition again. That's what the word renovate means. So when we're talking about transforming or renewing the mind, right? We're talking about putting the mind back into good condition. And if you think about it, well, I know for myself, I wouldn't be even interested in this, right? If I had no idea, didn't know that the way I had been thinking before stunk like cow shit. They used to call it in AA, not AA. I'm not an alcoholic, but when I went to the Augusta DRC, the Drug Rehabilitation Center, I, they used to call poor thinking or like negative thinking stinking thinking. So you got to get rid of that stinking thinking, right? And put your mind back into a good condition. Boy, you're going to do that through study and, you know, reading and, through meditation and, what you view, even through your food, you know, even through your food, what you drink. And all this goes back into transforming or renewing the mind or the entire self, you know, your entire life. Matter of fact, in one of the Hebrew, definitions for the word mind, I remember seeing life in jeopardy or jeopardy in life, right? But if your life is in jeopardy through mind, right? Mind is, mind is life, and it's the entire thing, So that would mean that you would need to do something to get your life out of jeopardy. And since the mind is all, the universe is mental, then what you would want to change is your thoughts and your feelings and your will, what you will towards, and your understanding, what you're putting your thoughts and your feelings into, you know. So you want to get your mind back into a good condition. It's time to start renovating, right? You can't renovate an apartment if you still got motherfuckers living in there, right? So you gotta get like somebody told me, you gotta get that bullshit out your head. Excuse my language. You gotta get that bullshit out your head. Then you want to start to put in, oh, my fault, the stinking thinking. Get the stinking thinking out, right? And then renovate. Get your mind back into a good condition. Get it back. All right. Transform. Transform is, to transform or metamorphose. Change, transfigure, or I really like this word, disguise, right? So let's just look at, what some of these definitions are and what they're of the words that they're using to explain transform, disguise, DISG, DISG. Clothing worn to avoid being recognized, an outward appearance that hides what something really is. Okay. To change the looks or sound of, to avoid being recognized, to keep from revealing. To change the looks or sound of, Mm. So you want to change the frequency of your mind. You want to put on a new disguise. In other words, saying change the frequency, change the looks, renovate, renew the apartment of the space in your mind. All right, change them, clothing. Well, that's more of a physical definition. Let's go to transfigure. Kind of like that trend. Excuse me. Oh, I noticed that. Excuse me. In one of the other videos I did just a few days ago, I had burped and I didn't say excuse me, so I just want to say excuse me for that. I looked back and I was watching the video. I was like, damn, I ain't even say excuse me. Just rude. Who's this? Some type of wise guy? Get some type of wise guy? All right. Trans, trans, I got transform, transfix. What was I looking for? Transfigure. They don't have transfigure. Why not? Well, that sucks. Transfer. Let me see if I can go out here. Transform. To change completely. All right. Transform means to change completely. That means you ain't still holding on to Keisha, to Waukesha, that walk. You know what I mean? Everything must go. Right. And now, I know some people that have been a living example of that, Like I said, I talked about how I see people moving from the new age back into Christianity, or I don't really like the word religion, but some other type of spiritual membership, I guess. But I see that in order, it's like when you leave an old relationship, right? Like say a toxic relationship, and you know that the only way it's going to end completely is if you cut off all contact, right? You got to get rid of they socks that they left over, you know, pictures, whatever, you know what I mean? You got to take them off your insurance, and don't be married. It's it's a whole process. Whole process. But you kind of have to like cut it off completely. It's a complete change, to change completely, to put your mind back into a good condition, your whole mind, right? Which is not just your brain. Don't just think about your brain, right? Talking about your body, getting your body back into a good condition, back into a healthy state, you know, a complete change. Not beating around the bush, not half-heartedly changing, not, a true transformation in the heart. Like, like I spoke about the other day, it has to be that true heart transformation, right? Your heart has to be in it. You know what I mean? And when your heart is in it, you'll know, because not just what you think about things will change, but how you feel about them, you know? But I wonder if the word metamorphose is in there. Nah, it don't matter. All right, so let's see. Get that, put my hand down. I got I think one of my teeth had cracked from when I had my accident, my bike accident. I smacked the concrete kind of hard, and it just feels good when I do that. Like, but it's kind of soothing. Romans. Let's see what this means. So we can kind of get, like, an understanding of what's actually taking place here, Rome. Okay, so Rome, the capital of the Roman Empire. So we're dealing with the Romans. So, all right, we're finna get into the metaphysics. The metaphysics. Anyway, all right. The metaphysical definition of Rome. Rome represents the head, the mind, in contrast to Jerusalem. Remember, these places are just, it's you. It's you. All right. Jerusalem, in contrast to Jerusalem, which represents the heart. All right. Okay. The head is the seat of the dominating personal will, and also the intellect in man. The dominating personal will. So it's like where everything, it's like, not everything, but like, it's kind of like where it's like your center. You know what I mean? It's like, it's the driving seat of the body, right? And based on you, the I am, or which is your awareness, you have directive power, which is that will. You have that directive power, or the will, to drive your thoughts and your feelings in the direction that you want them to go, right? All right, so the outer man, these are the seat of, okay, the head is the seat of the dominating personal will, and also of the intellect in man. Like I said, it's the driver's seat, it's the seat. All right. To the outer man, these are the seats of all strength and power. So will and intellect. So the outer man, which would be, I guess, in the ego, right? It's so, like I said, it's based off will, or I'm doing this, I'm smart, it's the intellect and willpower. Like, that's ego, right? Okay, it says Rome really refers more to the head as the seat of the will than it does to the intellect, though the later may enter into consideration of the will's activities. Hmm. All right. So based on the intellect, so basically your decisions or what you will towards with your thoughts and feelings will be based on how your intelligence. Like, you can make dumb decisions or smart decisions. It says Paul was imprisoned in Rome. Paul represents the divine word. Rome is the center from which the will rules. When the will, guided by sense, intellect, and the personal idea of ruling power, imprisons the word, binds it in the realm of personal understanding and dictatorship, the activity of spirit seems inhibited. So basically, when you are functioning from your ego, you are thinking it's all me. Like, I'm this and I'm that, and I got it all under control, and I'm running the show. I'm doing everything. I'm smart. I know exactly what to do. You know, like, that's cool and all, but if you know exactly what to do, like, sometimes that can be like, that is a good thing. But um, is usually the ego or the lower nature, you know, running the show, right? It says that when the will is guided by sense, intellect. So sense, intellect. When you're dealing with senses, you're dealing with the physical reality. So, which would be, once again, ego-based thinking or decision making. And when you think like that, you bind what he says here, the word or spirit. Okay? So if you want to become more spiritual in your thinking, you know, you want to be less egotistical and just really transform your mind and your feelings and your thoughts. And um, I got kind of thrown off because I know I heard somebody walking around. But just getting out of, uh, like I said, ego based feeling and thinking. Um, yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. And the personal idea of ruling power. The personal idea of ruling power. Thinking that you run it all, right? If this, the physical, is running it all, then you block out your higher self or a higher perspective. or i.e. spirit, right? Your source. Spirit is the source, right? And if you're blocking out the source, and the source is all, and all things come from the source, then you just putting your life in jeopardy, right? Right? Putting your life in jeopardy. So you want to get your mind back into a good condition or spiritual condition. Um, Acknowledgement of the non-physical and understanding how everything comes from the non-physical or spirit or source. All right. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Like, so I'm about to be out. My mouth is getting dry. Yeah, kind of hungry. So I'm gonna link with y'all. Yeah, so it's been real. I'm outie. Get that thinking right. Renovate the mind.